Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So a few weeks ago I did my picks for the best things you can find at the dollar store, and in that video I asked you if you wanted to see a part 2 where I share the worst things you can find at the dollar store, and not surprisingly a lot of you guys did request that I do that video, so that's what we're doing today. As a disclaimer, this is just my opinion based on my experience and some research that I've done, so feel free to disagree with me on any of the things I'm going to share, and also let me know down in the comments what are some of the duds that you found at the dollar store. I would be very curious to hear from you what you guys think. If you guys do enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel if you're interested in dollar store videos or budget themed videos in general. I have another budget video coming up, I think midweek, as a bonus video for you guys, all about my specific tips and things that we did to purchase our first house. All right, with all of that said, let's go ahead and jump into my picks for the worst things at the dollar store. My first pick for items I do not recommend from the dollar store are batteries. The batteries that are sold at the dollar store use older technology, which is carbon zinc, and they just do not last as long. Yes, they cost significantly less, but it's such a pain to have to constantly be replacing your batteries. Also, these types of batteries are known for being prone to leakage, so that's something else to keep in mind, and I do not recommend them. The next item that I don't recommend are kids' toys. Now, I don't have kids yet, you guys know, but when I was doing research, I did find out that most of these items come from China, where they don't have the same safety standards we have here in the United States. So there's that, but also they're usually made out of plastic that is not safe, and we all know that kids like to put things in their mouth. Also, they're not gonna last very long. It's probably for a 1 or 2 time use. So there is an exception to this, and that is paper-based children's items, so coloring books and things like that. Those are perfectly fine and safe and great. It's just specifically the plastic-based items that I would recommend that you avoid. Another thing I wouldn't recommend are the plastic Tupperware containers from the dollar store. Some of them do say they're BPA free, but what I read when I was doing research is that they're made with a very similar chemical that has almost the same negative effects. And when you're putting your food and reheating your food, it's just not something you want to mess with, in my opinion. But if you want to use the Tupperware containers for other things like organization, stuff like that, then there's no problem with it. It's just specifically using them for food that I wouldn't recommend. Another type of item that I've had bad experiences with are the kitchen utensils, specifically the plastic ones. A few weeks ago, I had my family over and I was serving them some homemade soup. And as I was in the middle of serving it, the bottom part just completely fell off into the soup, and it was really embarrassing. I got made fun of for that. I have read that some people do like the Betty Crocker brand of kitchen tools from there. So that's just something I read. I don't know personally, so let me know in the comments if you've had any experience. Next thing I don't recommend is the pet food, pet treats, or pet toys. The pet food items sold at the dollar store can be missing ingredients, be of lesser quality, it can be expired or close to being expired. It's just not something you want to feed your pet. And I don't know if you're anything like me, my dog is like my child, and I just don't want to risk giving her something that could be unsafe. And as far as the dog toys go, you know that dogs are pretty rough with their toys, so you want something that's going to last. I was trying to find one that looked like okay quality, and this is the best one I could find, and you can see it's already coming apart and my dog hasn't even touched it yet. So a big one that I don't recommend are any type of medicines or supplements. There was a study done by Consumer Reports where they tested different vitamins and supplements at the dollar store, and over half of them were missing key ingredients. So it's likely what you're buying could be missing ingredients, so it's not going to be as effective, and you just don't know really what you're going to be getting. So to me, that's a little bit scary, and I would not buy it. Next are the tools, and this is probably not going to be that surprising, but they're $1, so they're not going to be the highest quality or made very well. They're not going to last. If you do just need something to use for one-time use, then these are going to be fine. But if you want something that you can keep and use into the future, I wouldn't recommend these. I just bought this just as a sample to show in this video, and it looks so beaten up, like it was put in a food processor or something, and it doesn't even open up. When I try to open it, it's jammed. So these are kind of just throwaway items. I also would stay away from any of the car fluids. Similar to what I mentioned about the vitamins and supplements, these can be missing some key ingredients or be heavily diluted. And our cars are very expensive items, and to me, I just do not want to risk putting anything in there that could either hurt it or just not work. Now, a few types of things that aren't necessarily unsafe or poor quality or anything like that, but they're actually not going to be the best value, are baking soda, gum, also soda I read is not the best value buying at the dollar store. These are things you can buy for less than $1 at other places. I also would stay away from the cords and electrical items. There's really no way of knowing if they've met the minimum safety requirements, and I read that the safety seal can be very easily counterfeit on those items and it could lead to a safety hazard or fires. So last but not least is the food at the dollar store. When I was doing some research on the safety and quality of the food sold at the dollar store, what it tends to be is either overstocked items or items that are about to expire. So they're not quite expired, but they're at the end of their life. I also read that a lot of the time what happens is with chips and packaged items, they put it into smaller containers and they sell it at the dollar store for a lower price, but you're not actually getting the best value if you look at the price per ounce. So I did buy some of the food just to test it out. I thought this one was really interesting. I had to grab it. Instead of grated Parmesan, it says grated topping. And I'm looking at the ingredients and I literally cannot pronounce anything on here. So curious to know what this is. Most of the things that I tasted were quite stale and old tasting. I couldn't really eat more than a bite of anything. I had to spit out the chocolate. So just in my limited experience, I just would not probably be buying the food items from the dollar store. Okay guys, so those are my picks for the worst things from the dollar store. Again, let me know in the comments if there's anything that I missed. Like I mentioned, I might actually have a bonus video up for you guys this week about saving for a house, so look out for that, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye.
Ooh, snacks. All right, let's see what treasures we have in here. I love these things. Oh. What? Are you kidding me? True story. I like the Twix on the left better than the right. But you can't tell with this thing, so I'm just gonna assume they're all on the left. Oh, Snickers, grated topping. I love toppings.
Baby, what are you doing? That's expired food that I was just about to throw away.
Expired? I think of this more as finely aged.